The beloved show When Calls the Heart continues to captivate audiences in its 12th season, blending heartfelt moments with engaging storylines. Episode 2 takes viewers deeper into the lives of Hope Valley's residents, focusing on the challenges and joys of the younger generation and their interactions with the adults around them. In this episode, the children's fascination with comics takes center stage. Elizabeth works hard to inspire her students by introducing new and exciting lessons beyond their comic book interests. Meanwhile, Rosemary uses her radio show to discuss how comics influence today's youth, sparking thoughtful conversations. Elsewhere, Lucas wrestles with challenges tied to his national park project, while Edwin and Lee clash over a proposed plan. As tensions rise, a mysterious visitor arrives with unexpected news, throwing their plans into uncertainty. This episode weaves together themes of growth, change, and community, delivering another compelling chapter in the lives of Hope Valley's beloved characters. Now let's take a closer look at the recap of When Calls the Heart Season 12, Episode 2. Rosemary shines as a radio host with the right topic. Rosemary's nervousness before her radio show debut was both relatable and amusing. She feared failure and worried about being laughed at, but her tendency to overthink made the situation even funnier. Once she chose comics as her topic, things turned around. Comics were the latest trend, making it a smart choice for discussion. However, Rosemary felt frustrated at first, because most adults didn't seem to mind the children's obsession with them. The exception was Florence, whose fiery opposition stood out. She believed comics were corrupting young minds and wasting money. Despite her strong stance, Rosemary couldn't help but suspect that Florence had secretly read a few comics herself. This hilarious moment showcased Rosemary's growing talent as a radio host. Her ability to draw out information and create engaging conversations was truly impressive. Elizabeth inspires her class with a love for nature. Elizabeth grew frustrated when her students became so distracted by comics that they couldn't focus in class. Determined to spark their interest in something new, she took them on a field trip to the forest. Armed with magnifying glasses and insect jars, the children explored the wonders of nature up close. During the outing, Elizabeth emphasized the importance of Lucas's National Park project, explaining how it would allow future generations to experience the beauty of nature. Someone should remind Lucas of this to encourage him not to give up. The trip became even more meaningful when the class discovered a paw print. This discovery excited Allie, who had been feeling uncertain about her future after school. Her love for animals and research shone through as she identified the print as belonging to a timber wolf. Allie's enthusiasm hinted at a possible future working with wildlife, whether as a park attendant or in research. While opportunities in the 1920s might have been limited, there's hope she'll find her perfect path. Is Lucas's National Park at risk? Lucas's decision to involve Edwin again raises concerns, especially considering how things went wrong during his previous campaign. Edwin focuses solely on numbers and winning, while Lucas wants to honor his commitment to Lee and Rosemary. One of Edwin's questionable moves was excluding Lee from an important meeting with Edie Martell from the Cattlemen's Association. Edwin had hoped Edie would offer her support, but instead she brought up a serious issue. Her late uncle's ranch, which borders the proposed park, would lose its summer pasture if the plans proceed. She suggested carving out part of the land, but the area she proposed is mostly rocky and not viable for the park. This puts Lucas in a tough spot. He genuinely cares about people and doesn't want to cause job losses, but he's once again getting caught in the politics of trying to please everyone, something Lee had previously warned him about. It's a relief to see Lee back in Hope Valley with his wife and friends. His influence on Lucas, acting as a voice of reason like a real-life Jiminy Cricket, was invaluable. It would have been great to see more of their dynamic as Lucas navigates these challenges. Henry's character evolution continues. Henry has come a long way from being the town loner. Once reluctant to engage with others, he has gradually opened up, starting with Elizabeth involving him in school projects. Now, Henry has taken the initiative to volunteer and work with the kids. What a remarkable change. This time, Henry found himself with an abundance of hazelnuts and decided to hire the children to help with his crop. This subplot was enjoyable because it gave Henry a meaningful role and highlighted Emily's talent for business. Emily's interests have rarely been explored before, so it was refreshing to see her shine. Even Henry was surprised when she chose to spend her earnings on business magazines instead of women's magazines. She impressed everyone with her knowledge of statistics and created a lively, enjoyable work environment. Seeing Henry and Joseph collaborate on the hazelnut business is exciting, and it would be wonderful if they included Emily in their plans. This unexpected development was a delightful addition to the story. Nathan notices why Oliver is so nervous. In When Calls the Heart Season 12, Episode 2, Oliver comes across as dedicated but visibly nervous. His anxiety often leads to mistakes, which only adds to his fear of severe consequences. This makes one wonder if he's experienced harsh criticism or even abuse in the past. Oliver was in desperate need of a confidence boost, and under Nathan's mentorship, he began to thrive. With a passion for forensics, he excelled at spotting connections between cases. Despite his efforts to appear mature, his need for approval was clear, almost like a child seeking validation. Understanding Oliver's need for connection, Nathan invited him to a family dinner at Elizabeth's. At first, Oliver was shy, but he soon relaxed, joining in on jokes and playing with Allie and little Jack. For a moment, Oliver allowed himself to act like a kid, shedding the heavy burden he seemed to carry. Whatever challenges he's faced, it was heartwarming to see him finally experience some joy and a sense of belonging. Mike and May face challenges after their return. Why do Mike and May always end up in the middle of funny or chaotic situations? Why couldn't they just have a peaceful honeymoon and smooth return home? The When Calls the Heart trailer hinted at some romance, but after Mike carried May across the threshold, they were hit with an unexpected mess. Water damage and pests had destroyed Mike's apartment. Since their relationship moved quickly, they hadn't yet dealt with much conflict. Neither wanted to admit that they left the window open, so they ended up blaming each other. May even decided to move back into her old room. It was one of those fights where both had to adjust and move forward without a clear winner. I was happy to see Mike and May both recognize their stubbornness, and it was sweet that they chose the garden where Mike proposed to make up. While it's important for them to work on their communication, I hope they get better storylines as the season continues. What was your favorite moment from this episode? Did you enjoy Rosemary's radio hour? How did you feel about Mike and May's return? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Looking forward to hearing from you.